How's it, everyone? Welcome back. This is the Mac Coast to Coast Show. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you know when we go live. Here's your host, Brian McLamara.
Hey everybody, welcome again to another glorious day at the Mac Coast to Coast Show. You know, we're coming up on a new year, 2021, and we're really excited to get started. So I'm here with my boys. I got Razzle.
Let's get this mother started, yo.
And T-Mac.
What's up, everybody? Happy New Year. I hope you guys have a good one. Enjoy the show.
Picture a man down by the river, making love to his fist, only on the Mac Coast to Coast Show.
It's got a pretty mouth.
And with that, we're going to our sponsors.
Slowly.
Slow. Brotherhood 808, where the music doesn't always play, but your friends are your chosen family. And did you know that video sells 65% more everything? Aren't you excited? I know I am. Brand Ready Media, they'll help you out.
And the Carving King, coming to you from the Carving King factory, where they make Carving King boards. Eliminate
right.
the mess and eliminate the stress.
That's right. You can get your Carving King now. Go to the website. Get 10% off everything online. When you go to a special link from the Mac Coast to Coast Show, you'll find that link and your code comment section below. So, where we left off was a man. He was down by the river, and he had his fist around something. But what was it? I gotta come up with better stories.
It's all good, man. How you guys doing, man? How was your Christmases?
Mine was good. I got a bunch of t-shirts, man.
Yeah, and happy birthday, Raz.
Thank you. I had a good time, man. I had to work Christmas, but went up to the cabin, hung out with my friend Bad Brad up there in North Florida. Shout out, Bad Brad. What's up, brother?
Nice. Yeah, right on, right on. You look a little mad today, Raz. You all right, dude? Whoa.
Well, sometimes that's my czar face.
Yeah, so did you guys hear about the volcano eruption in Hawaii?
No.
Kilauea?
What happened?
Yeah, there's Madam Pele's upset over there. It's basically been erupting for about a week now. And I was going to ask you, Brian, did you even know there was a volcano in Hawaii?
No, I don't know. I don't know anything about Hawaii.
You know, when I first moved here, I never knew there was a volcano either, bro. My brother's like, let's go check out the volcano, my stepbrother. And I was like, what? I never even heard about it because we didn't study Hawaii in school. But yeah, it's been erupting for about a week now, and it's pretty beautiful, man. The pictures they've been showing on the news lately and stuff, it's pretty awesome.
You know what I saw on the news, which is a good thing that volcano is erupting right now? The fog, which is the smoke coming out of the volcano instead of fog, is actually, the CDC says that it stops the spread of COVID.
Oh, all right. Well,
Yeah.
good. We're safe then.
Yep, everybody's good.
You're kidding me.
That fog. As soon as the fog goes over the land,
It stops
just
the
it's
spread.
going to be the end of it.
Is that
All right.
Does that have anything to do with the creeping death at all? Like is that what it stops COVID because it kills everything, like the creeping death from the Bible, like it floats along the ground. People are out painting lamb's
I
blood
think
on
you're
their
talking
doors.
about the Thriller video.
Yeah, they got everybody
Michael Jackson.
freaking out now. They got a variant of the virus now. Have you heard about it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's not the regular COVID. It's the super COVID.
It's stronger than the last one.
Well,
All
that's-
right.
Hunker
Run
down
for your
another
house.
year.
Everyone stay inside.
For
Well, that's
another year,
capitalism,
2021
guys.
Inside.
Yeah.
That's capitalism at its best. Just as soon as they get done and they get the most traction out of one product and it's almost over, they're like, just when you thought you had enough. But wait, now we've got new and improved COVID. It kills 90% more people and travels faster.
Which leads us to our new sponsor this week, Acme Masks.
The F-22 mask.
Shit, we should have been making some Mac Coast to Coast masks by now.
Yeah, they're coming out soon,
I'll
2021.
have to talk to our writers about that.
Yeah, you can get one down in the description in a couple weeks. I'm getting ready to get on it.
You know, I was going to say, did you guys hear that there was a bomb in Nashville? Did you hear about that? Did you hear about this?
Yeah.
This little bomb?
Yeah.
So my aunt lives in Nashville, and she had a Zoom scheduled for Christmas Day with like everybody on my mom's side of the family, and we're like logging in, and I'm like texting people. I'm like, I'm here. Are you in the room? I'm just here waiting still. And we're like, yeah, we're waiting too. And we couldn't get in touch with her till like yesterday.
Oh,
or the
wow.
day before. Yeah, it was like, we were like, what happened?
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was crazy that all the communications were shut down from one building. One bomb shut down the entire state.
Supposedly that's where they were storing the Dominion voting machines that they were gonna, research and see if there was fraud. So,
they blew them up.
Just a weird coincidence, of course.
Wait a minute, weird coincidence?
Yeah.
There could be a coincidence, maybe, on the Mac Coast to Coast show.
All right, we got a new toy.
Yeah.
Right,
Anything
got a
new?
new
What
toy.
do you guys got any funny, crazy stories that ever happened to you on New Year's Eve, or any kind of stories you guys could talk about?
I would, but our mom watches the show, so I better keep it.
Come on, man.
Better keep
All
it
right.
PG.
She knows who you
I know.
are.
I know she used to be real happy when I used to call her down in when the Florida State played the Gators down in the Sugar Bowl. I think it was '93 down in New Orleans. I was about 80 hurricanes deep. Hey, Mom! It's an hour later over there.
You're a terrible,
So it's
terrible
like 1 in
young
the
man.
morning.
Hey, Mom.
She's like, thanks, Eric. Yeah.
Well, yeah, we won't go there then. What about you, Brian?
I'm glad that you asked. So, me and Charlie were down in D.C., and it was New Year's. Sorry, folks. I just can't get enough of it.
They slap
man.
up with it. Why
So,
don't you just do your whole show like that, dude? You can
Yeah,
just
really. Just be the
every
scary
time it
dude.
comes on in, I'll do the czar face every time. Thanks for coming on the show.
So why don't you tell everybody, all of our guests about all of our viewers, the guests we got on today, Razzle.
Oh, today we got an old surfing friend of ours, Drew Campbell. He started a non-profit. It's called Getaboard, and he helps. He goes down to Jamaica, down the Caribbean, and he takes skateboards and he'll give them to the children and teach them how to skate. And he also provides like surf lessons for underprivileged kids and stuff like that. So, I'd like to welcome to the show, Mr. Drew Campbell.
All right. What's up, brother?
What's up,
Hey,
Drew?
what's up, Drew? How you doing, buddy?
Hey. What's up,
Long-
boys?
Long
What's
time
up?
to
Long
see,
time
man.
to see, yeah.
Yeah,
Looking
good
good.
time. Good times.
So
How you
what's
guys-
new? What's happening?
Oh, just doing a lot of work and getting things set up for 2021 and trying to make sure that we got a lot of cool programs coming out for the kids and making sure that they're all they're all stoked and learn how to surf and skate and and changing lives through surfing and skating, and trying to dodge the whole pandemic situation and social distancing situation. So it's working out.
Cool.
So, Drew, a lot of our listeners don't know who you are. So, really, tell us a little bit about your organization. How did you get that started?
Okay, so we started Getaboard back in 2003. I basically was at a skate park and I was skating around and saw a bunch of kids to the side asking all skaters if they could borrow their boards and try skateboarding, give it a shot. And nobody would stop or give them the time of day. So I stopped and said, hey, you want to try this? And I put a kid on the board, and I thought he knew what he was doing. He fell face first, and then all his friends laughed at him. and then
asshole.
Yeah, pretty much. And then I go, no, that's how you do it. And I taught him how to ride. And next thing you know, he's dropping in, and it was pretty rad. So all the rest of the kids wanted to try, and I taught all of them how to, stand on the board and ride. And then next thing you know, they're super stoked, and I was super stoked, and they're leaving. And I was like, cool, thanks, guys. And they're like, thank you. And I realized that there's a lot of kids right then. I realized there's a lot of kids that want to learn how to surf and skate, but nobody is there to teach them. So, that's when we started Getaboard. And awesome. since that time, we taught over about 9,000 kids how to surf and skate. So it's been awesome.
Wow, that's a great cause, man. I love it.
Yeah, plus you're keeping them off the streets, keeping them out of trouble. That's an awesome thing.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's cool to watch a kid learn, especially surfing. Surfing is my favorite because when you push a kid into a wave and they catch it and they love it, and they catch that wave to the beach, their first wave to the beach, you can tell they're instantly hooked. Mm-hmm. And that's the whole thing, is getting them hooked on something that's positive and fun, so I'm hoping that we can keep doing it and teach 90,000 kids or 100,000 kids how to surf and skate. That's our goal. Just keep going and see what we can do.
Plus, when they bust in the ocean, they're not falling flat on their face on the concrete, which also is a good thing.
100%.
Yeah, so in the 17 years that you've been doing this foundation and cause and everything, is there any stories you could tell us about a little kid that you had that just started ripping and just had the natural ability, and you were pumped just to see him grow? And do you have any stories?
Well, there's a lot of kids that we were doing contests and stuff at first, like best trick contests and things, and a lot of guys that came up, through the system. A couple of names are like, we don't have any specific rippers like, oh, this kid was the one that came up, because when we started doing it, after we started, the surfing was kind of like one-off. We put all this effort into it and get them surfing, and then we're kind of like, okay, try this more when you get a chance. But the skating, we were working with the kids at the homeless shelter when we started a skate program, and then after we got that rolling, and we do like 4 to 6 weeks of skate lessons. Then a lot of the kids move out of shelter, move to different states, so we couldn't really follow up with them that well. But now when we're starting a skate club and getting it going, then we'll be able to basically track their progress and have them, compete in contests and be able to watch their progression all the way through the process.
Oh, that's great, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All the kids we taught, they're stoked. Yeah. Every one of them stoked. So.
Yeah, they must be thankful, after they, you hook them up with a board and then they start ripping. They're like, oh, Drew, hook me up. It must be such a good feeling to see them progress and get better. And you see them ripping, it must feel good.
Oh, yeah, it feels sick. We have donation boxes in all local skate shops. So the main thing, what I've seen is seeing the volunteers like progress as people, because they're usually around more often than the kids. Have a cool, awesome group of guys here in Orlando. We have donation boxes in all local skate shops, and all local skaters donate their old boards, and then we take those and refurbish them and give them to kids that can't afford it. And the volunteers that have been staying around and helping out, got Herman Camarina, a guy Nick D'Angelo, another guy Juan Morales, Ashton Dahone, plus got some really cool pros like Chad Poor, Rob Wooten, Evan Smith, And those are some big names in the skate industry, and they've all been helping out and watching them progress as people, and watching their lives change by helping, with the program and volunteer and helping kids. They're stoked too. So it's when you give stoke, you get stoke, so.
Right.
Shout
Yeah,
out
man.
to your boys too. I like that. Nice work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Give them.
Yeah, give them some props.
So how do you know these two kids?
Back in the day, Cocoa Beach, all of us, like Raz, we were talking yesterday, did that Polk County, transplant to Cocoa Beach, and it was amazing just watching how many people moved over from Cocoa Beach. I think a couple people in Polk County started surfing, and they started showing it to their friends, and then next thing you know, their friends and friends and friends, just like a compound effect, and everybody just started going to Cocoa Beach and learn how to surf and fell in love with the lifestyle, and we all ended up moving over to Cocoa Beach. And I didn't know Raz or Tim before we all lived in Cocoa Beach together, but it's like that was some of the best times of my life, hanging out with all the Slaters and David Glasser and Tom Nielsen and Gordon, all those guys there, just so many rippers over there from Cocoa Beach, CJ Hobgood, all those guys. Just like, I don't know, it's a crazy crew of people. And I love to brag about talking about how there's more world champions from Sebastian Inlet to, New Smyrna than any other stretch of coastline in the world. So,
Right.
yeah. And so we had a lot of good rippers coming through there, and we had a lot of good times in Cocoa Beach back before cell phones were a thing, and before you could check the waves on your app. It was a magical time, I think. So.
Yeah, definitely. And you remember back in the day when we used to surf, and we'd get up in the morning, we'd do the cruise down the coast looking for a spot, and we'd check like 50 places before we paddle. And we never could communicate. We didn't have cells, so we just like hoped that we ran into each other. It was a good time, that we surfed back then. It was pretty cool that we all hooked up. We were all from the county, and we had Sean on the show. We looked up to Sean and them, and I remember back in the day surfing with you, and it was really good times.
Oh yeah, it was the best, dude. And the waves seem to be better. I don't know. It is. It's always better yesterday. So.
Always.
Well, we had a giant surf posse. It was like 50 people or something. The whole crew
Yeah.
It just when we had a little house party, it was like huge.
Those are the best. I think that was probably the best part, is the house parties.
Jungle juice, baby.
Everybody getting together, and everybody getting together. Nobody on their phones. Everybody's like in the moment. Everybody's like talking about the waves for the next day, whatever. And just, I don't know, it was the best.
Yeah, I remember you you had some cool dreads back then. They were like, some of the guys have them nowadays, but it was like real gold on the tips and everything.
From the sun,
Yeah, because you're always out surfing, so you had that natural fade to it.
Yeah, it was
Awesome.
cool. The ladies liked it too back then. I don't know.
Now I know why you guys.
Oh, go
Hey,
ahead,
keep
go
it
ahead,
PG
man.
now. Got
Now I know why these guys hung out with you, because of all the ladies. You guys are getting all the
We just got all
leftovers.
the scraps.
I was just picking up stragglers from these two guys. They're always in trouble. I was just like hanging in the cut,
Hanging in the cut. I like that.
Yeah.
And I remember back in the day when gas was like $1 a gallon, and we put like $5 together, and we go to New Smyrna and shit. It was like good old days. You got $1, dude? I mean,
No, bro, I'm broke.
Scrape it up to
Or
change.
how about the hundreds of trips from Polk County to the beach?
oh yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I know. That was the day, man. Like the 2-hour trip. That was like the best part of the surf sesh was the road trip,
Yeah, never know what's gonna happen. Who's gonna run out of gas? Who's gonna run a toll?
I remember
Right.
running the beeline like 90 mile an hour through the toll booths, just throwing pennies at them and stuff.
Handfuls of
Before they had
pennies. Just
cameras and shit.
Like, screw it. That was before they had the cameras and the little arms that came down and everything. But
Yeah, the good
we
old
wouldn't even slow down for them suckers. We'd be 90 mile an hour.
Or the best, stop and pick up some change on the ground, throw it in,
Yeah. If we were really hungry, you'd probably scrape up enough for a junior whopper or something.
Yeah.
Junior Whoppers.
Pack of
Yeah,
birds.
man. Shit, when DJ and I first moved to the beach, we were so poor. We had the $5 meal every night. We'd each get 2 Junior Whoppers, were 99 cents back then, and we'd split a Coke. So every night we ate there for $5.
No way.
It's like forever. I can't even remember how long it was. We got a job at the what was it called back then? Right next to the lobster shanty there.
It's called the grocery
Fisherman's
store.
Fisherman's Wharf, right?
Fisherman's Wharf. Yeah.
Yeah,
We used
yeah.
to Shuck oysters there back in the day.
That was the worst job in the world. I worked there too. That was like, they yelled at you every night.
Had all these holes in your hands where you slip with the oyster knife, and then you go surfing, and it'd be a just giant 8-out spot on your arm, in your hand where you had a big cut.
Ah, brutal.
Surf like 8 hours, and the salt water would just eat it away, so it'd be like a giant hole.
I was
that-
I was thinking about Brassies the other night too. All right, I
Oh,
was like,
goodness.
yeah, that was some next level.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. The good times.
Yeah, that's where I met Slater. Actually, me and him almost got in a fight when I first started hanging out there, because DJ and I were out there going off with these girls, and Sean rolls up and he's like, "I'll whoop your ass. I'm Sean Slater." And I'm like, "Well, I'm Raz. I'll whoop your fucking ass right now. Pardon my French."
I know, it's
then,
crazy.
Then after that, I think he was with like Benji Weatherly and all these other dudes, and they all looked at him like, And then I don't know, it's just like we were brothers after that. I guess we respected each other, like a couple old roosters out there
Yeah, it was the peacock.
throwing the chest out,
That was
Yeah,
some
so
good times.
Drew, getting back to your foundation, I just wanted to kind of ask you, like, I know the beginning when you start something like that, it takes a while to get going, and it's a lot of work. And so, how long did it take you through the years to where it started paying off for you? Like where you started, seeing something from it.
Yeah, just recently it's starting to pay off. It's been like, because the hard part is like, so I kind of put it like, everybody does like, they start something with emotion, and then they back it up with logic. And so you're like, yo, I'm gonna help these kids, it's awesome, and then as you start getting into it, the emotion wears off, and you go, oh man, we got to keep raising funds, we got to keep doing these fundraisers, and we got to keep the programs going. So then you start trying to figure out ways to sustain yourself and keep it going, and plus you're working a job, and I have 2 boys, so I was raising my 2 boys at the same time. So you got 1 foot on the dock and 1 foot on the boat, and the boat's your dream, and you're like, oh, which one do I choose? And you stay like that for a while, but after a while I just jumped in full time and just do some real estate on the side, and it helps augment it. But now it's starting to take off where it can hopefully sustain itself pretty soon. We got some really cool stuff coming up this year that's going to help do that. So
Cool.
Oh, that's great, man.
Well, why don't
Brian,
you,
why
why
don't
don't
go
you
ahead,
tell everybody where they can donate or whatever? We'll go ahead and get that
Okay.
out there. So,
Yeah.
plug your
Yeah.
company.
The name of the organization is Getaboard, and you can go to getaboard.org. Getaboard.org. And if you go to surfskatecreate.com, you can see like our videos, what we do, and going to Jamaica. A couple years ago, like 2-3 years ago, we went to Jamaica. We taught over 300 kids how to skate, gave out 150 boards, and it was an amazing trip. And because of that, the Jamaican Olympic Committee saw what we were doing, and they built the kids a skate park in Jamaica.
Wow.
Get out of here.
Yeah, like 100%. I don't know, like a 20,000 square foot concrete park. So
Sweet.
yeah, that was yeah. We got some good stories in that, because like another thing is like running a nonprofit. You're kind of like an entrepreneur, and the bad thing is entrepreneur, when you make money, you able to take the direct benefits of you bringing value to the community and get to keep it. But when you're doing a nonprofit, you generate funds, and then you have to turn around and give it to the kids, which is fine, and give it to your cause. But in the meantime, you're just constantly always trying to figure out ways to generate funds for your cause, and so it makes you a better, I think, business person, entrepreneur, because you're constantly always like, hey, cash flow, how can we do this? How can we keep this going? Because the kids are loving it, So And the Jamaica trip was amazing because not only did it was such a huge success for the kids and they built the park, but now that we got some big sponsors starting to look at us going, hey, we'd like to fund this for future, trips and programs. So that's always helps out. So you're constantly always thinking ahead and how you build your brand name and credibility and sustainability.
Cool.
Wow,
What town in Jamaica is that, or city?
Oh, Kingston. We went into Kingston.
Oh, okay.
It was
Kingston, yeah.
stay with the Wilmots. They ripped the Jamaican Surfing Association, Billy Wilmot, Iva Wilmot. There's a kid, Shama Beckford. He just got sponsored by Hurley. And yeah, it was amazing. Like watching the kids. The kids were like so much more gung-ho than they are here about skateboarding. Here they're kind of timid. They're thinking like Usain Bolt, fast, bobsled team. Let's go. And then it's like no scared mentality at all. They're just going for it. One of those clips in there, we taught a school and we were supposed to teach like about 50 to 60 kids how to skate. That's picture right here. We're teaching like 50, 60 kids how to skate that day, and they loved it. But then I guess we were about to leave and everybody was tired. We've been there for like 3 hours teaching, it's probably one of the biggest groups of kids we taught at one time. And then the security guard told us, hey, can you just wait a minute? And we're like, what? And yeah, cool, no problem. What's up? He's like, see all his feet, and there's a fence. And you couldn't see through the fence, but all you could see is a whole bunch of feet underneath the fence. And I go, those are kids in the neighborhood that can't afford to come to school, and they've been climbing over the wall and hear all the kids screaming and having fun. They want to try skating too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That is awesome. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Like a
great
Bob
that you
Marley
can teach
video or
kids
something.
that can afford to go to school, and you go to the school. What do you? I mean, you go there. Were you blown away by how much need there was for that?
Oh, they're loving it. So we're probably planning another trip this year coming up, to go back out there, and that's our goal, is to kind of go out there and show what we did the first time, and then show the impact it had, and with the skate park, and then give out more boards. So now they have a skate park to ride the boards, and just like watch all the kids go even crazier. Plus, Evan Smith's like the #1 pro for DC. And I was just blessed to be able to have him on a trip with us, destroying like whatever obstacles we put in front of him. And he's a good human. So it's amazing just like watch the kids go, the skaters go crazy and the kids get excited. So just like, it's a perfect circle of stokes,
Man,
I mean, you must be riffing by now. I mean, you've been skating and surfing for many years. I mean, you still charging skating, or are you a little more timid now that you're older, dude? Because I retired already, bro, from skating. I can't handle that concrete no more.
I'm not skating either.
But
yeah, I've been broke off more in the past 10 years, and I think the whole time I've been skating, just like go out there, get a little cocky, or let's go bomb this parking lot. Yeah, sounds good. 1 or 2 beers, let's go. And then I broke my hand, skating in the parking lot, going too fast, trying to catch myself, doing like 30 miles an hour, broke a collarbone, like mountain biking, almost broke my leg skating a half. So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to surf, and I'll just cruise with skating, because the kids are stoked, and they got bones of rubber. So
Bones of rubber.
Bones of rubber, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. When you're young, man, you bounce right back up. When you get older, boy, it hurts a lot worse.
Yeah, I don't think I'd really want to be a pro skater, but I mean, the level, you guys know the level is just ridiculous now. The stuff they're doing, it's like, I don't know. Yeah. I almost think it's almost so high that you don't even want to I think it almost deters people from wanting to skate, because they're like, I could never do that thing that he just did. So, but it's still fun when you see them just do simple little tricks. The kids get hyped, and then, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, it's got to be a killer feeling, man, when all those kids you see all that stoke on their face. And, a lot of these kids are so poor in Jamaica that's the only time they ever would have experienced something like that. And you're bringing it to them, so it's got to be awesome feeling.
Oh, thanks,
Good on you, brother. Good on you, man. That's so cool, man. I mean, you're changing lives, brother.
Thanks, man.
That's why we wanted you on here, man. Some positive stuff going on,
Yeah, you want to promote it.
Yeah, we're trying. We got another thing going on that's pretty cool too. That's connected with the skate club. Is we're going to be rolling out the first ever skate insurance. So
skate insurance.
Yeah. So AAU basketball, right?
Yeah.
So we partner with AAU, basically AAU Sports Organization, to offer skateboarding, and they're going to allow us to sanction different skate parks. So it's a training facility and a contest facility, and then the skaters can get insurance, and if they're skating at that training facility, if they get hurt, they're covered under insurance.
That's pretty important with skating, man, because there's a lot of injuries, for sure.
So that's rolling out with the skate club. So that's like we're kind of like getting all. That's why the COVID and the whole thing this year. Just I've been working. I had 40 interns this past semester working remotely all over the country, and they've done an excellent job getting us kind of set up and for 2021.
Cool, man.
Awesome.
I
So
don't know.
Drew, tell
Up to
me,
you.
as a nonprofit, what exactly is your biggest challenge?
Biggest challenge as a nonprofit is sustainability, because once you have your cause, your kind of cause is already there. You know what you want to do, and then staying on point with your cause and trying to stay true to your mission, but then sustainably finding funding over and over again that will help you keep that program perpetuating throughout time. Because basically, it's feast or famine. You get a grant, and then you go through your program, and then your grant's gone, and you have to go find another grant, or hopefully that grant will like give you another grant, next year. But that's why you see companies like Goodwill and things like that doing thrift stores and different things outside of their wheelhouse to kind of keep it fun, keep it rolling. So.
Do you guys get any donations? Can you get like sponsors like Geico or some big companies to sponsor what you're doing? Like, how about surfboard companies and surf companies?
Yeah, I try to get companies inside the action sports industry to sponsor us, but it's such a small industry that there's kind of feast or famine for a lot of them as well, like Hurley and Quicksilver and Volcom. They're kind of the kings of the sport, but then they have so many people like trying to approach them for different projects that it's you kind of got to go outside, like Geico or State Farm or
Under Armour. What about Under Armour?
Yeah, we could probably go to them, or somebody like there's a lot of cool ones coming up, like some tech companies too, possibly, or even cryptocurrency funds that we're trying to talk to. So it'd be really cool to see what we can get funding wise. But we're always trying to look outside. Yeah, you always have to look outside the box and think outside the box to try to get funding, because it's a constant struggle all the time.
Yeah.
You guys-
So what's your? Oh, I'm sorry, Raz. Go ahead.
You guys should run some little skate things here. They have a nice one in Lakeland now, and then they just built another one here in Winter Haven. It's supposed to be pretty nice. I haven't been over to it yet, but I don't know if you know Jesse from Jesse's Bar downtown Winter Haven.
Yeah, he told me about that. I need to team up with him. That's why I want to get the skate clubs going, because then we have different clubs going, like Lakeland, Winter Haven, Orlando, and then as the kids learn how to skate. Because the weird thing is we were getting funding, and then we were giving all the funding and the stuff to kids with boards and helmets and everything else like that.
Mhm.
But it was usually kids that were underprivileged. So now we're starting to do it where, hey, we're going to charge for this because we got this whole program on lock, all the curriculum on lock now, and then we'll give scholarships to kids that can't afford it. And that kind of flips the whole program on its head. So we're raising funds all the time, and we get monthly reoccurring revenue streams.
Yeah, cool. Well, I know
You
they
know,
got some really nice parks over here now. So
Yeah, those kids will love. I just want to have like a club there, and then charge a monthly fee to do lessons with them, and then we can part of that will come to sustain the whole program and get more kids skating, instead of just like giving out the lessons for free like we have been for like 17 years. So keep it.
Well, that'll just make it so you can do more. If you have more revenue, obviously.
Yeah.
Have you guys done? I'm sorry to interrupt. Have you guys done?
Yeah.
As I apologize and then interrupt. That's my style. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but
I'm going to interrupt anyway.
yeah. It's time for me to talk now. I got to move my mouth. It's like blinking your eyes. If I don't blink my eyes every 3 minutes, they dry out. They won't work anymore. And I need it. It's what I got to do. So we go to a lot of networking events. Have you thought about going to networking events nationally to other more affluent areas to like maybe link up with some other nonprofits? I could introduce you to our networking group. My business partner, he at Brand Ready Media, he runs it, He's part of it. Like, he's not running it, but he's like, he could get you in there as a guest. You could meet some people on Zoom. I think that since this whole thing has gone down, the biggest part about doing business is you can really expand from just doing business locally, statewide, regionally, nationally. And I think there's a lot of people out there that could possibly help you, that you might be able to link up with. And I'd be happy to try to
small
introduce
fee,
you.
Brian will help you out.
No.
Even coming to Hawaii, bro. I was thinking about that. There's a lot of kids out here that aren't privileged to have skateboards and, would love to skate. They got some nice skate parks out here. So, I was going to ask you, like, what's your goals in the next 5 year, 10 years? Are you going to try to expand to go more places?
Yeah, 100%. That's why I want to take the skate club and make it go national. And now that we got the insurance out of the way, that, a kid can sign up, get insurance, and then he can skate and we can teach him. And then the parents that are fluent can pay for it. Now, the kids that can't afford it, I'm glad you brought that up, Brian, because we have a thing called a charity board build, which we've started partnering with a couple corporations, and they pay for the boards and they pay for the equipment, and then we put the boards together and then we give them to the kids that join our program. So that kind of takes care of the scholarships.
That's awesome. Are any of those, when you guys made that video, or any of those sponsors on that end of that video? Can I pull that up, or?
Yeah, you can see that. The DC was on there, and then we have Catalyst, Surf and Skate, they're local. And then we have a lot of, they're kind of right there, yep. And then Vans has been donating like their returns for their shoes and things like that. But those are kind of older sponsors. Now we're starting our charity board build sponsor. We had a foundation called Rip It Foundation. Okay. And they give sports stuff to kids and sports like equipment to kids. And the chairman of that board is the vice president of Darden.
Oh, okay.
Vice president of what? Garden?
They own a bunch of restaurant chains, like I think Chili's and Olive Garden.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So we're starting to network a little bit, but it's just that's each place that we have the chapters pop up, then we'll have the charity board builds like going out, like our interns going out in those areas and getting the corporations to help fund the charity board builds for the kids in that area that can't afford to skate.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, just from, back in the day when we were all surfing and cruising, and you doing what you're doing now, man, I'm proud of you, brother. I mean, you went a long way, and I hope the best for your company, man. I hope it really blows up.
Yeah, I'll keep you guys up to date on what we're doing. I mean, when we start rolling some cool stuff out that we got planned, like I've already said too much, but yeah.
Oh, dude, it's great.
But I can't. Yeah. So you heard it here first.
Hold it, Raz. Hold it. Hold it, Raz.
Yeah,
wow.
Right,
we got to work on that. We got to work on our timing.
They were a little slow with it, but
Look like you're about to blow
everybody's like, "What's wrong with Raz?"
He's having a heart attack. Could somebody please speed dial the police in his house?
Well, I just turned 53 a couple days ago, Drew.
Happy birthday, brother.
Thank you. I quit having them a couple years ago at 49.
What?
So you're not supposed to tell us your age. You're supposed to say,
I'm 35. I'm sorry. I'm
there you
putting numbers backwards now.
No, you're supposed to. What you're supposed to do, Raz, is oops, sorry, wrong button. Let me start that over. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to say, "I'm old enough to sit at the table, old enough to eat."
Wait, right?
Well, they ain't dangling in the toilet water yet, if you want to put it that way.
Wow. You have more than one still?
Show, brother.
Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate it. I have to come see you out in Hawaii, bro.
I'd love it, man. Come out here and do some work out here. You always got me. I'm ready to work.
Well, I guess we're gonna wrap it up there, Drew. I appreciate it, man.
No worries.
D-Max take us out.
Well, guys, It's been great having Drew on here, and he's really doing a good cause. Super happy, stoked. Thanks for coming on the show. If you guys want to learn more, go ahead and check out Drew's information. It'll be in the comments section below. And like I say every time, if you're not Matt Coast to Coasting it, you're just drunk.